Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon, Denny.
Hello.
Hey, Brad. I wasn't able to comment a whole lot because we're attempting to keep it kind of piffy. However,
Yeah.
your bull ride is getting better.
Cool. Thank you.
You did
Yeah, I
really.
made some changes to that a little bit this morning, and so I stumbled a bit, but yeah, good deal.
Yeah, you got through the no ums. You did sound pretty good, and I did pick up on the fact you were attempting to use Matt's. Hey, are you interested in? Are you open to working with an agent? Just kind of messed it up a little bit. So I give you a knuckle bump for your effort.
All right, I'll take it.
Don, give me some good word out there in Scottsdale.
Well, I'm changing my name right now
Good.
from Sherry to Don.
It's a don't ask, don't tell type of a podcast here.
Yeah, it's in this day and age, got to do the right thing, right? So, yeah, we're enjoying just what you have the opposite of. We're back to 105 something degrees for another week. Summer never ends.
All right. Well, you guys bear with me a second. I had to let all the fake people in. Louise, let's see if I can get you.
I'm here.
Good to have the gang back. And I've got some great friends I made in where was I? Pensacola. You guys did okay, didn't you? Katie, you're there. How was Pensacola? You guys were on the leeward side of that storm. I think you did all right, didn't you? Well, anyway, she'll be on. I'm sure she's probably want to get the Pop-Tarts out of the toaster. This is Denny Grimes. It is Friday. It is Friday. You got that, Louise? There you go. Thanks. It is Friday, September 22nd. This is Denny Grimes, Mastery of Real Estate. And yes, it is. And if you are catching us for the very first time, I've got over 200 videos of role play with many of these guys here on my YouTube channel, Denny Grimes, Master of Real Estate. And if you've not liked and subscribed, please do so, and then you'll be notified when we publish something new. And today, my thought of the day is last week I think I talked about interest rates because that was right off the Fed, and now as we're getting closer to election, I wonder if that gives people, what are we? 6 weeks away or 5 weeks away. So
November, yeah, about 5 to 6. Yeah.
I am meeting with someone, as many of you guys know, finally going through the process of getting a book written, and I was meeting with my co-author, and we're talking about, she wanted to kind of know the basis of the objections. Give me some good objections. And if I had to categorize objections, most of them would be like this for a buyer or seller. We want to wait because fill in the blank. So I don't have anything special to talk about today. Those are just my thoughts. I'm going to go to you. We can do anything at the table, and we do follow the formula of acknowledge, isolate, clarify, answer, close. And we do a question format. So if you would be kind enough to raise your hand, and if you'd like to participate, and we'll go deeper into conversations and I'll get better. So who's ready to go? Dr. Lauren, I don't know if you can actually do role play and be sitting at the same time.
I could try. I could try.
Yeah. Okay. So
I'm open to having a conversation with the seller.
Right. I'm going to throw out some objections. Here's one thing I don't want you guys to use as an objection here. And I've said it before. I don't want you to use the objection, well, we're going to be interviewing other agents. Now, why do I tell you that?
Because he would have pre-qualified them already.
That's right. I mean, before you buy 50-yard line tickets for your date and you pick her up and you're on your way to the ball game for your date and you're so excited about it because it was your high school sweetheart, you may want to find out if she's even married. So look, so you want to get some basic questions answered first. And so let's go, Dr. Lauren, what would you like to do? And we'll set up a normal timer of a couple of minutes and then we'll go down into it. Now, you people here, you guys on the call, don't make me do all the talking. Let me pick up on, I want you to be listening because this is question-based, listening enhanced conversation. So Dr. Lauren, you're at the table with the seller, and the seller is going to be Brad. It's umless Brad. He's dropping the
Almost. I like it.
All right, so Brad, I'm going to give you a second. Do you have the objection ready?
Yeah, I'm going to use the objection of the election because I think it's a ridiculous objection, but I hear it.
Okay, groovy. All right, you're at the table. Go.
All right, Brad, now that we've gone over everything, it sounds like we're ready to get going, starting to work together. So let's go ahead and sign the paperwork.
All right. Well, everything's good. I appreciate it. I'd like to wait, though. I just want to see what happens after the election.
Interesting. Okay, tell me a little bit more about that.
Well, I want to find out how that's going to affect the market, maybe allow the prices to go up higher, so I can get more asking. I can get a better price for the house. That's what I'm thinking.
Okay, so what I'm hearing you say is waiting till after the election to see if you can get something higher. Let me ask you, when you sell this home, will you be purchasing your next property?
Yeah, I will be purchasing, yes.
So are you also waiting for the price of the next property you buy to go higher as well?
Yeah, I fell into that one. Yeah, exactly. Actually, I was hoping maybe the elections would allow my house to sell high and then I could buy low.
Now that's
Go ahead,
interesting,
go ahead.
Brad. Now, help me understand how would that be possible?
I
It
think he
wouldn't
was
be
joking.
possible.
I think he was.
Yeah, it wouldn't be possible.
Great,
Yeah,
great.
so that, enough said. Let's just stop because I think the waiting for the elections to be over is just totally ridiculous. But I like what you said about sell high, buy high. So yeah.
All right, Brad. Let's sign this paperwork then.
All right.
All right. What did you guys hear? I heard fingernails on a chalkboard, Dr. Lauren.
I didn't isolate. I know.
Sign twice.
Yes, Don.
Oh,
would you-
sign,
That's
sign.
authorize, approve, so much softer than sign here.
And Don and I share a special place in our hearts because the guy who taught me this and gave me my birth in real estate 40 years ago.
Yep.
Don ran into him door knocking in Scottsdale, Arizona.
Who was it?
Tommy Hopkins.
Like me, trust me, and like me, trust me, and hire me.
So
Tommy
Don,
Hopkins.
Don, I tell you what, will you do me a favor? Would you ask, because you're still in touch with him, ask him if he would be a guest on our mastery call.
I will ask him.
Awesome. So a couple of things. Did anybody have any feedback for Lauren? Other than sign? I mean, that's kind of fingernails on a chalkboard.
I liked when Brad threw that out. She said, interesting. She didn't take a side. She wasn't oppositional. And tell me more. And how does that benefit you by waiting? That's what I was kind of waiting for. But I liked her initial bull rider. Interesting. Tell me more, Brad, about how ridiculous this statement is.
Yep. Interesting. That was a good response. Louise.
I like that Dr. Lauren went with the all boats rise and fall with the tide. If you're looking to sell high, are you also looking to buy high? She helped them to self-discover.
I'm going to have to kind of like come up with a nifty little package to help you guys remember. Dr. Lauren did the right thing. When someone wants to wait to buy or sell, it should go automatically in your mind. What are they going to do next? Because if they want to wait, and she nailed it, and the way she asked the question with a pause and like with an upswing, oh, so you want to wait and pay more for your next home too, or something like that. And it was kind of like a checkmate moment for you, wasn't it, Brad?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So that's pretty good. Now, I'll tell you what, we're going to do one more time, wait on the election. And Brad, you're going to go and have a conversation with, I'm going to go, Alberto, you don't have your hand up. I'm just going across the way. Would you like to be the seller?
Yeah. Yeah, I can be the seller. I just want to say that I like Dr. Lawrence says, so you want to sell high and buy low. Tell me how it's going to happen. That's the comment, but I'm going to be the seller for Brad.
Yeah, well, I think that I think he was joking when he said that. And if he's joking, just chuckle. Now, me being a smart aleck, I would have said, "Well, I tell you what, one of the candidates, if not both, probably will make that campaign promise. You know, they'll say anything to get elected, right?" But I'm not going to say that. All right. So, Brad, you're at the table, and Alberto's a seller, and he wants to wait until after the election. Go, Brad.
So Alberto, thank you for your time. Are you ready to move forward?
Yeah, I would like the presentation. I know you are capable to sell my house, but I'm gonna wait. What is gonna happen after the election? You know, probably the market is gonna get better. The prices are gonna go high again. So I prefer to wait another probably 2 months.
All right, other than waiting till after the election, is there any other concerns you have about moving forward?
No, that's it. I mean, I would like to get the most money possible after the sale of my property.
Very good. I understand. I would want the most money for my property as well. So the timing, you said that you wanted to be at your next location by the end of January, I believe, 2025. Is that correct?
Yeah, to be honest with you, I would like to spend at least my last Christmas in this property and then move forward to the new place down there in Florida.
Okay. So waiting for the election to take place is going to slow the timeline down of the process. And how do you feel about that as far as slowing down?
Well, it wouldn't be good for me because if the prices are coming down, I mean, I'm gonna lose money. I expecting to get the top market price at this time.
So I'm going to
Well,
pause.
we're hoping.
Brad, I'm going to rephrase that question. Now, did anybody find that to be a little bit negative? You know, you're making a statement it's going to slow you down. How could you have asked the question?
How will that affect the time frame of moving forward or getting to your next location?
Now, don't you think that question's better suited? Like, okay, so do you think this is going to be productive or counterproductive to getting to Florida when you want to?
Right. Yeah, I think that is a better approach.
Here's the other thing that I noticed that I'm listening. How many people felt when you said, well, you were kind of lecturing him a little bit. That's going to slow you down. Not only are you lecturing him, it was a negative thing. And I actually felt energy kind of like drop at that point. So anyway, that's just food for thought. You're at 128. You've asked the question, how will that serve you? And go ahead, Alberta, you can answer that.
Say that again.
How will waiting help you get to Florida when you want to?
I would like to be in Florida probably by the end of January. Not than that because I mean the winter right here in New Jersey is killing me, you know.
Right. I understand. I hear you. So there's two things that could possibly happen after the election. The prices of the homes could go up, which means that you will sell at a higher price.
Yep.
And then
now you're going into a speech, Brad.
Golly, okay. There's two things that could happen after the election. One, the prices.
Now you're telling him.
What do you expect to happen after the election, Alberto?
The prices go up.
Okay, and how does that affect you when you're buying?
That probably gonna have a better position to buy a better property down there in Florida.
I'm gonna stop. Did I miss something? Did he say he was gonna buy in Florida?
I believe so. Somehow I'm getting that. I don't remember him saying that.
No. So you want to find out what he is going to do, right? So when you go to Florida, Alberto, are you going to be buying a home there?
Yeah. That's the idea.
All right, that was a parallel one. Now, Brad, was that good feedback for you?
Yeah, it was great. I picked up on the negative of how to ask the question. And then, yeah, I do have a tendency to lecture sometimes. So that was good.
For you guys that have been on the call a number of times now, when you start to hear someone, and that's Brad's, you know, he's a good sport. He's really learning. I gave him knuckle bumps for his role play today in Recon because his bull ride was much better. But so here's my question. When he started to go down that road, did you sense like, wait a minute, I don't think that's the right way to approach it, which means you're starting to recognize the difference between what we normally would have done would be tell them something versus ask them something. Anybody else notice that? That's what I want you to do. I want you to start picking up on these things. So that's awesome. All right. So Alberto,
Okay.
Donna, what happened? Okay. So Alberto, you are now at the table. Do you want to buy or seller? And David Beckman, I think he's a soccer player, will be
The seller?
well, you want a seller at the table?
Yeah, I'm gonna seller at the table.
All right, you're at the table. The objection, David, is what? Whatever you want.
Okay. He wants to interview another agent.
No, we're not doing that one.
Okay.
Because I want you to know that before you get there. Now,
Okay, got
if
it.
you want to handle that at the beginning of your presentation, we can start at the beginning because there's a way you can handle it if you find out when you get there.
Do you want us to put the election?
You
Or
want
you-
that?
The election. Okay, that's fine.
Up to you guys.
Okay. So, David, I understand you want to wait after the election. Tell me more about it.
Yeah, so just kind of curious to see how things pan out and what that's going to do with mortgage rates and with people getting in and out of the market. I think we'll have more clarity once that happens.
Okay, I understand that you want to wait because the interest rate went down a little bit. Now there are more buyers in the market, correct? So let me tell you something. The more buyers in the market,
Stop.
okay,
Now you're filibustering.
okay.
So there's probably a word you want to take out of your conversation. It's
What is
4
that?
letters. Anybody pick
Hell.
up on?
Hell.
Yes. Don't say I'm going to tell you anything because now you're lecturing.
May I share something with you?
Got it.
Yes. Or did you know? Or what do you think? So let's go ahead. Now this is mastery. We're going to help everybody out. So I'm going to
Okay.
worry about the time. So what are you attempting to communicate to him?
Okay, doesn't make any sense to wait after the election to put the property on the market now.
Why? Why doesn't it make sense?
Because we don't have the crystal ball and we don't know we can tame the market, and
Yes.
right now it's still a good time to sell. Am I correct?
Well, go ahead.
Help himself discover that.
Do you know why he's selling? Do you know why he's selling?
No, I had to deep down in the motivation.
There you go. So remember this. So we can't prescribe the medicine, you guys, until we know what's making them itch. How about
Okay.
that, Louise?
Let me start over again.
All
Okay,
right.
David, tell me more about it. At the first time, at the first thing, what would you like to sell at this time? Or what are you thinking about it selling at this time?
Oh, well, the kids have already left the house and we're just looking to downgrade and downsize and just too much house for us.
Oh, and where are you moving to after that?
We're just going to move to the west coast of Florida. I hear they
The
have
west-
good hurricanes down there.
Oh, that's pretty good. How soon would you like to be there?
In a couple months.
A couple of months. So let's do the right thing. Let's put me to work. I'm gonna get you in the next 60 days down there in Florida, and you're gonna start living the new life in the Sunshine State.
Well, I
All
was just
Hang on, Alberto, you're so cute. So
What I did wrong, I'm trying to learn.
you are learning. Yes, we love you, man. We love you. Y'all give him a little sandpaper too. Help him out.
Okay.
No, hang on.
Robert-
just-
I think you did a great job, Berto, trying to go for the close. The one thing I might suggest in terms of polishing that up is maybe digging into that motivation a little bit more, trying to get 3 deep. And this is just personally for me, the do the right thing, I might remove that because that may come off to David, like whatever his decision is, isn't the right thing, and that could potentially cause some adversarial tension between you two. So perhaps move that from your language and dig into that pain a little bit more before you go for the close. That would be my
Got it.
suggestion.
Got it.
Good feedback, DLG. Who else?
Let me tell you something, and let me ask something, Denny. The thing that I'm doing right now is to dominate the 15-second ride. You know, I mean, get the right words, the right openings when you're having either the phone on the front of the client, either buyer or seller. So the bull ride, the first 15 seconds, that's my goal, to dominate that part, because if you go through those 15 seconds, it's gonna be easy for you to keep the conversation and go down deep in the motivation.
Yeah, those 15 seconds though, for everyone, the bull ride is an outbound call to somebody you don't know. Well,
Yeah.
it could be somebody you do know. Now at the table, you don't have the same 15-second rule. There's another rule that I'm, and you can give me your input on this, that I'm putting in the book. It's either the 20 or 30-second rule.
Okay.
Which means if you're talking more than 20 or 30 seconds, you're talking too much.
Got it.
Anybody have any comment on that? 20
I would
Denny.
say a reminder for all of us, just come from curiosity.
Yes. Well,
Instead of telling.
well, actually, it's a great point. If you stay in curiosity, that means you're asking questions and you're interested. And you know what? I have never had a buyer or seller fall asleep when they're talking. They have fallen asleep on my conversations, but not on theirs.
That's not a good sign when they do.
No. So, all right. So let's keep moving forward. Alberto, thank you for being on and thank you for learning. All right. We're going to move next to see David. David, you get to be the agent now, and you're going to go to Doug. Is Tampa still there, Doug?
Denny, it is. Can I back up just a second? I had a thought on the previous call.
Sure.
Just as you just experienced, and I know Louise and a few other of us with the hurricane going by. I hear your voice in my head that says that we're not weathermen, we can't forecast, so on and so forth. My thought was, when somebody says, I'm going to wait, why not share a story about what just happened here, that the forecast was that the hurricane was going to skirt right by Tampa and hit Tallahassee? I could have taken that for a fact and not gotten my water, not gotten additional food, all of those things.
Doug, you're
Yeah.
going to be next. You're going to be next, and we'll play that.
Okay. I mean,
So
is that a far-fetched idea, Denny? Or, it's kind of asking questions as opposed to saying, I think you should, and I think you're crazy to wait. That's all.
You're not crazy necessarily, but if we have if we think they shouldn't wait for our reasons, it won't matter. We have to help them see the reasons why they shouldn't wait for their reasons.
Yeah.
And I also agree. Let's do the right thing. Like I think about now, I'm married to Kristen. We've been married 8 years, so she never liked me to begin with. However, my charm eventually wears people down. If I just said, Kristen, let's do the right thing and go out with me, it wouldn't have gone over real well, because from her vantage point, spending any extra time with me was not the right thing. So it's the right thing for you because you want to go and get a listing. So let's go ahead, David. You're at the table with Doug. And Doug, you can make any objection you want from a seller standpoint. And I warn you, David is a black belt at this, so be careful.
And I've been to Jersey City, so I know how tough he is.
Hey,
Spoken by Detroit boy, David.
Doug listens.
Okay,
Okay, Doug.
Yeah.
So, does this sound like a plan that can get your home sold in the quickest amount of time with the least amount of hassle?
David, I've still got a couple questions. how are you going to do this? Are you gonna have open houses? What's your plan to get our home sold quickly? If you could review that with me again.
Okay, Doug, so I hear that you have a couple of concerns about what I'm going to do. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Which one of those concerns you the most?
I'm gonna
Getting
pause.
traffic.
Just hang on. Don't keep your train of thought. I'm gonna, because you're into mastery. What made you say concerns? Because he didn't say concerns. He said what?
I believe he said questions.
You did say questions. So a question, this is important, you guys. It's the little things we do. Is there a difference in a question and a concern?
Yes.
Yeah.
So you made it a concern, David, by using that word.
Yes.
So just go. So what? All right. So go back and just state that again. So you had a couple questions. So I want everyone to hear that because that's what listening will do. That's mirroring and matching. All right. Keep going.
So, Doug, I see that you have a few questions about what I'm going to do. What would you like to go over first?
I want to know how we're going to get traffic to our home, David.
Well, Doug, that's a great question. As I've laid out for you earlier and we've gone over.
I have to get a whistle.
Go for it.
Okay. So just coaching you here. If he has a couple of questions, I'm not going to nitpick you. You said few. He said two. Just make sure you're listening. Get the other question before you answer that one. Remember, you want to isolate. So you had a couple of questions, Doug. What are they? I want to see how you're going to get traffic. I got that. And what's your second question? Because is there a possibility if you kind of know everything, all the cards are on the table, will that give you a more strategic vantage point on maybe what's in his mind and how you can answer it? So Doug, understand traffic. What's your second question to get ready, David? What's your second question?
Do you think that we can get what I'm asking for this, David?
Doug, those are both great questions. Aside from that, is there any other reason why we wouldn't move forward today?
No, I think that would help me a lot if you could answer those satisfactorily for me.
Wonderful. Great. Glad to hear it. Which one would you like me to address first?
The first one I asked you.
What would you like to see from an agent? Or what do you think that you
Go back to his word. What's his word? What's his word?
question?
No, traffic.
Traffic.
What do you mean by traffic? Get a definition of terms. Now
Okay.
we're gonna walk him, guys. We're gonna walk him into a box. What do you mean by traffic, Doug?
Amount of people that will come and look at our home.
Okay.
Bodies walking through the door.
And how many bodies would you consider a sufficient number?
25, 30. I've sold houses before and it's taken that many bodies. You got a lot of tire kickers.
I understand, Doug.
Hopefully you would do the right thing as my agent if I hired you, David, and you'd be pre-qualifying and personally vetting these people.
Well,
That
I
they're
mean, that's one of the standards. That's one of the standards that we do before people walk in the door.
Hang on. I'm gonna call a timeout. Now, how do you do that? If I'm the co-broke and I'm gonna show, I don't know if that's a legal word anymore, but if I'm the other agent gonna show your home, how are you gonna vet my buyer?
I do it.
How?
Hey, Denny, thanks so much for scheduling a showing request for a property. I'm calling to introduce myself and ask you some questions about your buyer. And one of the questions that I ask is are they cash or finance? And if they're one or the other, have you seen proof of funds or a pre-approval letter?
Well, quite honestly, I don't think it's any of your business.
Our seller is, has instructed us to only grant showings to qualified buyers.
Well, I've been doing this for 15 years. You think I'm going to be wasting my time?
I don't think you are. And neither is the seller, and neither are we. We want to make it an efficient and effective showing for you.
I got
And
that.
this is a requirement of our seller.
Okay. Well, I tell you what, I mean, there's several other homes in the neighborhood in Wellington we're going to probably show. So I'll go ahead and cancel my appointment with yours, and I'm going to work with somebody who's a little bit more cooperative.
And that hasn't ever happened to me. And I've been doing this for many years.
I got that. Well, let me just say why. I mean, all right. So we'll get back to your role play in a minute. This is the advantage of mastery, because I can drill on this a little bit. One is, I don't know why you would waste your time doing that, because it doesn't matter. Unless you tell your seller you're going to do it, but that's kind of like saying, well, I tell you what, I'm not going to let anybody drive and show your home and park their car in the driveway until I first check and to see if they drip oil, because I don't want them to drip oil on your driveway.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if your agents in Palm Beach are like the agents where I am, you're going to call them, and a lot of times you're going to get a message, and you know the election will be over before a lot of these agents ever return a call. Anybody experience that? Now, you might have satisfied your the requirement you told your seller because you attempted to. I just trust you're not going to keep calling them. And so, all right, so I say, yeah, they're pre-qualified. What have you learned?
Nope, pre-approved or proof of funds.
Well, again, I understand. I read the fact that if we submit an offer, that'll be submitted. You don't get any pushback on that. Listen, I'm just saying, if you want to do it because it's part of your value proposition to your seller, that's fine. You can add that. I'm just saying, probably of the 20% of the things that are important in getting a listing sold and giving good customer service, in my opinion, that's in the 80%. Because I don't see a win for it. I don't even see a win, you guys, if somebody shows the home and we have the showing time thing or whatever, it sends them an email for feedback. I don't chase people for feedback. To me, it's a big fat waste of time. Why? Well, if they don't give you feedback and they don't buy the house, they're giving you feedback.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
So
Can I add one thing? Sorry,
hang on
go ahead.
I want Louise to know I'm not picking on you. I mean, that if that's your model, I would just have you rethink that. There could be things more valuable to do with the time.
Now, especially, I'm in California. I don't know what the rules are anywhere else, but you have to have a signed buyer broker agreement. So before you ever even show a house, so doesn't that eliminate now all the looky-loos essentially, or else you're just dealing with a stupid agent? But either way, nobody should be
I would assume that there are agents that are getting brokerage agreements signed without a pre-approval.
Oh, I would agree with that, but meaning they're wasting their time and you essentially
Agreed.
want to show a house on behalf of your client. Maybe they don't buy it, but maybe their friend does. Who knows? But
I threw that out there because the last 3 showings that I've taken my buyer to, same buyer, there's been either a proof of funds or a pre-approval, like Louise said. And, you know, they were ready to say no if I didn't have that. So, you know, I think there's a lot of power in being able to say no.
On the showing, I mean, I see Mark Benson.
And there have been buyer agents who are happy because they didn't ask that information of their buyers. And now they're happy to say, hey, this is a requirement of the sell side.
Well, I got it. And these are all personal things you can do. And I know in our market, and Mark's on here, Benson from Naples, he does a lot of luxury. And you go into a certain price range of homes, luxury or uber luxury, $10 million plus. I mean, it's not unusual before you see a $50 million home that there's some sort of proof of funds, you know, that they're not trying to get an FHA on a $50 million deal.
And Mark has a special terminology for it. I don't remember it off of the top of my head, but maybe he can share it.
Who does?
Mark has a special terminology.
Do you have a letter of introduction from a financial institution instead of proof of funds?
I think that's kind of a prerequisite for Gordon Drive, isn't it, Mark?
Pretty much.
You can't even
But, you know,
drive down there. You can't drive on the street without a letter of introduction.
generally,
Can't drive on Gordon Drive without that.
All right,
While
so
we-
now,
while we may have 9,000 agents who might show the property, it's likely that it's going to be one of the top 100 that work in that price range. And if they have a reputation and they've been in the business for a while, they're not going to waste their time showing people that aren't qualified.
okay, so David, I'm sorry, we're gonna go back and we'll finish so that Doug can get back
All
on.
good.
So
So-
you got, I'm gonna go back, got two concerns, traffic and price. All right, you
Correct.
got,
So-
we'll give another minute.
Doug, you mentioned 25 people. What's important about that number?
That's just based on my past experience selling homes, selling my homes, David, that it took quite a few. Maybe it won't, but you asked me what I thought a good number would be. That's what comes to mind.
No, thank you. Thank you. And have you sold a home in this market, in today's market?
I have.
Okay. And how many people do you think it's going to take for one to purchase your property?
I don't know. Nobody knows. Nobody has a crystal ball, do they, my friend?
You're absolutely right. Aside from that, what other question did you have?
You don't remember, whoa. You don't remember? I know we interrupted you.
We said traffic,
And what was the other one? Price.
price. Okay. Doug, what's important about price for you?
Well, I know what I want in net. I know what I need to get to be able to pay all the fees that I'll have and to be able to get my net
And remind me again what number that was?
540.
Wonderful. Let's go ahead and do the right thing.
Is
Oh
that
my
where you
gosh.
want to close? And
Here's
if
that right thing again.
we can agree, on that, will you put us to work for you today, knuckle bump, and then you have the next conversation if the price isn't in line?
Yeah, I mean, that's gonna be a central part of my book, you guys. It's really kind of a different teaching. I even got pushback in my bowl that I did in Pensacola, people saying, well, 9 out of 10 people here would never do it that way. A couple of different things. Here's my blink on this. Couple of things. The traffic issue. So what's more important to you, getting your home sold or me dragging 25 people through?
Right.
And by the way, you asked if he sold a house in this market. The other question that was not asked, that could be a good information. Doug, when was that you had all of that traffic? It might have been in 1908, right? One more thing. Oh, Doug, by the way, if you want a lot of traffic, are you talking about people walking through your home or people cyber shopping your home? Because he may have a frame of reference before the internet, and isn't a showing online, a hit online, a virtual, isn't that the same as traffic nowadays? Potentially, it is something, right? And one more point, Doug, if you want traffic, it's on you, baby. Now, all right, so now what would a seller say to that?
What do you mean?
There you go. That is a pattern interrupt.
Yep.
So when you go,
Say that last. Come
yeah,
back.
so I would have said, and again, depending on who I'm talking to, I mean, I wouldn't always talk everybody baby, but I'm being a little bit facetious here, but traffic is on you.
Ask him what he means by that.
Right.
Well, I'm interested. He's nodding his head like he's not asking me, but however, I want him to ask. I mean, I don't want to tell him. I want him to get curious. Now he's nodding his head, like he might know what I mean.
So David / Denny, are you suggesting that it could be physical traffic as well as virtual traffic?
Well, now I'm going to parallel him. Well, this is exactly how I'm going to parallel. Now, when they start asking you questions, that's a good thing. He's thinking now. He's into curiosity. Well, you know what? we're alike because I look at traffic as well. In fact, what am I going to say next? Do you know that when we list your home, there's one of three things that's going to happen, and it all revolves around what, guys? The T word.
Traffic.
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 Now we're best friends. We're going fishing, I'm sure. Do you see? I mean,
Yeah.
and then, so that's the traffic part. And I'll go over the one of the three things. Now, somebody explain to me why would, so when I ask you or tell you, look, traffic's on you, and you say, what do you mean? How would you answer that? You ask me, traffic's on me, the seller, and I say, well, what do you mean it's on me? How would you answer that?
I would share the three outcomes and explain that pricing affects traffic quite a bit.
Got it? Have we talked about that? What would be a good story? I mean, Doug likes stories. What would be a good story or an analogy?
Well, I mean, we've all sold a used car. We've all sold cars. So, you know, if a car is priced too high, we just walk on by it. If the price is fair, we'll get in it and drive it, check it out. And then, you know, if the price is ideal, we'll keep on moving with it. So that would be, I'd build a story around that somehow, but
That's something that would be okay, a story. Let's get stronger on our stories. How can it be stronger?
Danny, could just a pattern interrupt. Could we say, hey, Doug, well, let me ask you, when you're as a buyer, what
Mhm.
attracts you more to a house than anything else?
Could
Clean.
be.
Cleanliness.
The picture that comes to my mind is, have you ever been to an auction? Now they're picturing the people making the bid. What attracted the people to the auction?
The
the
low
hopes
price.
of getting a good deal.
Yes. So that when he says on you, where you elect to position your home will be directly related to the amount of people that I use traffic and the three outcomes. So that's what I mean about tying in a story. You see, the difference there, Brad, in my story and your story is that you're looking at onesie twosies, looking at a used car. You're kind of right. However, I wanted him to conjure up the image of all these people standing around wanting to bid on something in order to get a good buy. Next.
I see it.
All right, Doug, we're on you now. And is there a particular objection you want?
I want to throw that story out that I asked you if it was crazy or not. I'd like somebody to tell me they're going to wait.
All right. Well, you're going to, who's up next? Then Don, you're going to wait.
Doug, I'm just going to wait right now.
Hey, Don, I can fully understand that. I want to share something with you if I may, but I want to respect your time as well. I live in Tampa, Florida. We just had Hurricane Helene come by, and all the forecasts were that it was going to go right by Tampa. But you know what, Don? I still went out to the store and I still got canned foods. I still got water. I still got everything I needed in case that thing turned and had a direct hit on Tampa. Thank God it did not. My thought would be, why not get prepared right now? See what happens. You might be pleasantly surprised, because we know what today's market is. I don't want to preach. We kind of have an idea of what today's market is, but we don't know what the future is going to hold. Do we, Don?
Nope.
So why don't we get it listed? Why don't we see what happens? Can I get it listed for you?
I'm
All
not sure I
right.
want to see what, I don't want to wait and see what happens. I either want to sell it or not.
Okay, that's fair.
It's
So-
kind of wishy. That was a kind of wishy-washy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
No, I didn't like that.
I agree.
So Doug, who's got some love and sandpaper all in the same can for Doug?
I mean, I don't hate the idea of the story. I think it would be stronger if you were able to tap into motivation more and stress upon the uncertainty of the future and the certainty of what we know now. I don't hate the story. I just think you need something to help bolster it. If that makes sense.
And
Thank
can
you.
we
Thank you,
tell,
Laura.
can we share a story, but get me involved? I was waiting for
Mhm.
you to come up for air. And I was
Yep.
kind of losing interest in the stories. Like, where is he going with this? How long is he going to talk? You know, Maureen, isn't there a TV show we want to watch? I mean, I'm not, I'm sorry. I'm just
No,
being,
no, no, you're right.
but again, we start talking like I'm doing now, more than 20 or 30 seconds, we get shut down. So maybe you can share the story, but ask questions to keep us involved in it. That's an art.
And I have to agree with Lauren's point, right? The reason we go to motivation, right, is, and if you see with Denny's picture behind us, the reason we go to motivation is so we can touch pain. Once we touch pain, we know how to get them to do what we want to do.
Well, if I kick the bucket, there's a lot of people on this role play right here, or this Zoom call that can take over for me. That's good feedback. Good feedback. Nice job, guys.
Great,
here-
Pete. Thank you.
Yeah, Doug, here, I like you looking for opportunities, but let me just tell you, you got to be careful of the story because, first of all, Don's the point. Did you feel like it was a little long? You didn't even want to make it long, but I don't even know how you could have made it short.
Right.
So again, think, and you guys got to tell me, should it be 20 seconds or 30 seconds? What should it be? What should be my rule? I'm doing my
25.
best. Break it.
20 seconds. 20 is good.
All right.
25.
Barnabas will get to you in just a second. So the other thing was you got prepared for the storm and you didn't need it. So what a waste of time, waste of money. So if you're going to tell a story, tell one that somebody who didn't get prepared and they got hammered.
Yeah. Fort Myers Beach 2 years ago.
There you go.
And the last thing is, don't tell them how great the meatloaf is. And that's a 4-minute conversation as the waiter. And then they say, I'm vegan.
Good point.
You're a good sport, buddy. You're a good sport. All right. Barnabas, you're going to go to Whitney.
Okay. I'm sorry, I'm the agent, right?
You're the agent.
Yes, you are.
Okay. All right, well, this is a scenario I just came across. You're a company that buys land on a regular basis, and you don't think you need an agent to negotiate for you.
Okay. Is
No, I
on a-
don't. I know everything.
Is this a telephone call?
Yeah, phone call. Let's just do phone call. Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hey, hello, this is Barnabas with Keller Williams. I saw you browsing on our website looking at some land, and I was just reaching out to see what had you thinking about buying land.
Yeah, I'm looking to build.
Okay, fantastic. What are you, darn. Okay, when are you looking to build on that?
Hang on.
Yeah,
She hung up on you.
okay.
Call somebody else.
Okay, I'm just trying to figure out how to handle it. I don't know if there's any value I could bring to him as somebody he doesn't want to negotiate. He knows how to negotiate. He doesn't need an agent to negotiate for him. That's what he said. So.
Oh, you gotta have your what? All right, so you're following up. So you've got to be prepared for what question do you want to ask? You ask what's got you looking. I want to build, and then your wheels fell off.
Yeah,
Ask the
That was-
question you're avoiding. The hard question.
yeah. Okay, what? Well, I think I'd dig deeper into motivation, maybe. Like, what interested you in building on that? At this point, it's
Go
not.
back to the agent thing. You said
What
is-
they don't need an agent. So
Sure.
I'm the person that does need an agent. You're calling me. I want to buy land and build.
What is your purpose of call? What is the purpose of the call?
This is the first time I reach out to them.
I know, but what is the purpose of a call?
To see if we can help them buy
Yes, but to get an appointment.
to get an appointment, right? Okay.
So you're not going to be able to tell your story on the phone. You want to see if you can create a little interest. Go to the bull ride, create curiosity, interest, whatever. So, for example, it might be, and some of us can maybe. Yeah, I mean, we're hearing this for the first time. So you're looking at land to build. Is that right, Whitney?
Yes.
Is this for yourself, or are you looking for somebody else? Are you frozen? Is it? I have that effect on
She
women.
completely did.
They just kind of like.
Can
Oh,
I
there she
play?
is.
Oh.
She's back.
Am I frozen?
Oh, she's back now. Mm.
So I can't even keep a straight face now. So is this for yourself or somebody else? I'm not talking to you anymore. Okay.
Okay.
It's for myself.
Whitney in California, they're having a brownout, so you're not getting the power. So you got
Can I
electric.
play the lead? Since I know what happened.
Yeah, you play the lead.
Okay, go ahead.
Hang on, but then
I'm sorry.
David, come off mute, baby. Come on.
What's up? All right.
No, not that David. David, well, there you go. David does a lot of land. So you saw them shopping for land. You're calling Barnabas because he hit your website on some land. And how would you handle the call?
Yes. Are you looking to invest or build your own personal property?
Oh, yeah, I'm looking to invest. I'm an investor. Are you the broker, by the way? Are you, because I was wondering if you had land available a little bit south of the lake and over to the east side.
Absolutely. We'd be happy to assist. What's your email address?
Well, why do you need my email address?
Oh, so that I can send you the inventory that we have that's below the lake.
Okay. It's bbb@gmail.com.
So what we're going to do is we're going to send you an email of properties, as well as I'll look at this inventory and share with you some of the lots that we find would be best for you to build for your investment. And do you have a general contractor that you're going to be working with?
Yeah, I own a business, so we do this on a regular basis.
Okay. So if you need anybody, we'd be happy to assist with that as well. Do you have probably next question. Do you
So
have
now-
the floor plan that you're gonna build?
Yeah, but now you got to, Barnabas, you're going to have to say, look, no, hey, look, where he's trying to take you is, to me, this is what I'm hearing. He wants to work with the listing agent only.
Yeah, you're not the broker. You're somebody calling internet lead. He thought he was you're the broker. So let me go back. So yeah, are you the broker? Are you the one who's selling the land? Let's go there.
No, I'm not the one selling the land, but in the last 12 months, I've sold 100 pieces of property in the area, and I'd be happy to assist. Are you familiar with wetlands?
Yeah, yes, I am. But I mean, I can negotiate. I mean, I've been doing this. I own a company called Premier Energy. I've been doing this for 10 years. I don't really need somebody to negotiate for me.
Understand? When's the last piece of property that you purchased in this area?
2 years ago.
Okay. And are you familiar with the new county codes and some of the things that are happening in the local area?
So I'm going to stop now. Again, now, what does he do when you guys?
Showing his expertise.
Mhm.
Yeah, that, and he's putting some doubt in this guy's mind.
Right.
It's also showing his value.
Yes. Now, by the way, and we'll have time to go into another role play here. And Whitney, maybe you will get your juice back up. But what is the biggest downside with Barnabas in this case? Wants to work with the listing. We get a lot of calls like that. What's the biggest downside of them wanting to work with a listing agent?
They may not have someone that has the true best interest to negotiate involved.
Maybe. So Barnabas, one of the first things you want to do, let me just take over the role play. So you want to work with the list. You said the broker. I'm curious. Do you want to work with the broker or the listing agent?
I mean, whoever's selling the land.
Well, technically, the broker owns the listing, but I work with a lot of folks like yourself. And are you wanting to be talking to the person who is the listing agent?
Yeah, sure. If that's who I need to talk to purchase it, yeah.
I got that. So again, so let me ask you, let me see, why do you want, why is that? Let me just, it's probably the better way to ask. Why do you want to do that?
I mean, I want to see what they have available. You know, I'm gonna buy a decent amount of land. I'm paying cash, and I just want to see if I can negotiate a good deal with them.
Oh, so so is the model for you? You want to have a conversation with the listing agent in order to get a better deal? Is that why you want to talk to the listing agent?
Yeah, just see what we can negotiate if based on how much land I buy.
Well, in this area, a listing agent we may have 400 lots for sale. I'm going to kind of the other David's market, or maybe more. And every agent, I mean, an agent may have 4. So you'll be making hundreds of calls. Is that what you're saying you want to do?
Hundreds, you think?
Well,
yeah,
I mean, basically the area you look, this is what David did. He showed his credibility. Yeah, you know, that area south of the lake, I'm pulling it up right now. There's actually 125 home sites available. And I'm looking through here and there's at least 100 different listing agents. So tell me how I can help you.
Okay, I see. Yeah, so 100. Well, I'm not gonna buy that much. I'm probably just looking at probably 3 lots.
Okay, so then you're going to want the best deal of the 3, right?
Yes.
All right, so then you're going to have to talk to 100 agents to figure out which ones are the best deals. Is that what you want to do? So where am I going?
Showing your value for him to represent you.
It's time consuming for him to do it by himself.
Not
Yeah.
only that, and I haven't even pulled out the big wood yet. Well, by the way, you said you're interested in a good deal, correct?
Yes.
If there was a shortcut to get to the front of the line with a good deal, would you be interested in learning about it?
Sure. What's your shortcut?
Well, the shortcut is to work with someone, find someone who specializes. This is what David was attempting to do, and he really does this in his area, that knows the market. Because the best deals sell before they're listed. So the ones that are listed are not the best deals. Tell me what you're hearing, you guys.
It's the value that it's value that you provide as an agent, having the intel before it comes to the market.
Isn't it true that the best many homes sell before they hit MLS? True?
Yes,
Yeah.
That is true.
So who doesn't want to get ahead in front of the line? And so that is where buyers are shooting themselves in the foot. They want a better deal. They're going to get a better deal on the leftovers. By the way, yeah, just a second. By the way, Barnabas, do you know why the best homes sell first?
Why the best homes sell first? Probably because they're the best deal, the best price.
That's right. They're the best. And you know what we call the other homes? The lots? The leftovers.
Okay.
What do you think of that, guys?
Like
I
that.
like it.
It creates an
Whitney.
urgency.
Yeah. So Whitney, do you want to play a little bit? We got a couple of minutes, but it's my show and I can do whatever I want to. I can cry if I want to.
Yes, you can. Can you be the agent? I just got a bunch of notice of default people on a list. And I haven't made those calls yet, and I'm trying not to be like a jerk
Oh
when
my
I
gosh.
call.
I mean,
What'd you say?
you haven't made the calls yet. This is what I'm visualizing. These people are drowning. Whitney, there's one. You gotta go down to the throw. Whitney, help me. Throw me a life preserver. And you say, oh, I don't know what to say. Help them.
Can I come from a different angle and just basically be like, hey, look, 123 Main Street around the corner just sold. If you had any thoughts about selling your property, play
DLG.
that
Can I-
person.
Yeah, DLG, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll role play this with I'll role play this with you, Whitney. I've done 1 or 2 of these.
Okay.
So, okay, ring ring.
Whitney, you frozen again. You paid
Oh.
her-
As soon as she starts to talk, she freezes.
Am I frozen?
Oh
Yeah,
no,
turn off
you're okay now. You're
Turn off
okay.
your camera. Turn off your camera. It's probably taking up too
Yeah,
much.
yeah. Let's do that.
It's California. You got to share this
Okay.
stuff.
Not in the budget.
All right, ring ring.
Hello.
Hi, my name is Lauren Goodwin, neighborhood realtor, and I'm reaching out to people in your area to see if you have any interest in selling your property.
How'd you get my phone number?
Well, we have access to phone numbers through a specific database that alerts us of people who might be likely to sell, and you showed up on that list. What is your interest level in selling at this point in time?
Oh, like a 7.
A 7, okay. And what would make it a 10?
A big pile of money.
Big pile of money. Okay. And what would that big pile of money do for
So
you?
hang on. Now it's turning into a typical like expired listing circle prospecting call. You broke the ice. Now, whatever she says, you're going to be able to talk about it. Whitney doesn't
Right.
know how to do that. So that was one way. She asked if you wanted to sell. There was an indirect way too. By the way, let me give you but the best answer I ever heard. How did you get my name and number? When you said it came from a list of a database or people that are drowning or whatever you said, you would just say it's on the internet. I got it from the internet. The best way I have heard, I don't do this. You guys pipe in and we can end on this this thought. Is you call around, listen, I specialize in helping people get their homes sold, particularly ones that may have a little bit of a what's equity challenge, or maybe a little bit behind, or whatever. I don't know exactly how to word it. Do you happen to know anyone who needs maybe to sell their home rather fast? It's almost don't ask them, because they're gonna feel a little bit maybe uneasy about that. You would say, who do you know that might be needing to sell their home rather quickly? Any comments on that? You can polish that up, because that's pretty rough.
I like
So
what
would
Dr.
that-
Lauren led with. That was good. I actually kind of liked it. She got it from a database of people that were likely to sell their homes. But hey, that's my thoughts.
All right.
Denny, I was just wondering, so would you say, hey, yeah, I just got your number on the internet? Obviously not like that, but would you start it with, if they ask only, of course, I got your number on the internet. So I'm a local realtor. I specialize in helping people get the most for their homes in a rather quick time frame. Do you know anybody I might be able to help? Is that the angle?
That's kind of the angle, and I'm going back with agreeing with Brad. And so Dr. Lauren did probably there's software out there that are predictive analytics. And so what'd you say? So I just subscribe to a service that gives me a list of names and numbers that are people that may be likely thinking about selling.
Yeah.
I agree.
It softens the blow, and it allows it. I've used that before, and it kind of opens the door, and people typically then just have word vomit because they're in situations that are dire. And so I think it softens the blow a bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
And that's a lot better than saying, well, I got a list of people that are going to go in foreclosure probably in the next 15 minutes, and you're on it.
Not in any way categorizing them. You're just leaving it open that you're there to help. How can I help?
So you guys spent an hour with me on this Friday. Did anybody learn something? Share an aha for people that might have been playing Call of Duty during our conversations.
Denny, when you write your book, please put in there in the foreword, the last sentence, fist bump, love ya, mean it.
I agree with Doug. I agree with Doug.
Oh, I love that. I mean,
I agree with Doug.
You're forgetting my clothes. That's not all of it.
Be careful out there.
Oh, be careful out there. That's what it
there.
is.
Hill Street Blues, baby.
Hill Street Blues.
Yeah, I picked up on ask instead of telling, and I have a tendency to tell. And I also noticed some of us do that as well, but I like that. So that was one of them right there.
Yeah, may I
Ask
share
instead
something?
of telling.
Well, you're all getting better. I'm very proud of you. And if you have anyone in your office or your world that think would benefit from this, share the YouTube channel, or tell them just go to Denny's Mastery every Friday, and we'll be here. Love you, mean it. Knuckle bump. Be careful out there. And
Thank you.
And read my book.
Write it first, will you?
Right, yeah, write it first.
I will write it.